Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where we've got quite a good show. We've got lots of features from Johannesburg, and we're going to be chatting to ex-jockey and father of Calvin Habib, Donovan Habib. Very interesting interview. I know a bit about him. He knows a lot about me, so this could be a bit of push and tug as far as we're concerned later on in your call.
To find out how things have changed from his time. He rode a few, I believe.
Yeah, for a long time.
For a long time. Steeped in racing. Isn't Evelyn David married to his sister?
They're all involved.
Young David's cracking it in Mauritius. He's doing very well.
Yeah, the champion jockey of Mauritius.
So it's a racing family.
Should be fun. But talking about the football on the weekend, what happened to Spurs?
Played well, good game. Could have gone either way against Liverpool away. Take a point, you're always happy. Just made it tougher for us. Leicester winning on Sunday makes sure that they win 4 more games, they win the league. And they're everyone's second side, apart from Dogshire Dixon. It's his first side.
His first side, yeah.
Only person I know who supports Leicester now. Yeah. Or at the beginning of the year. Yeah. In the year, there could be a few shirts on sale.
I know there will be. There will. They'll get snapped up because they're doing well. Did you watch a bit of the cricket yesterday?
Unbelievable. It's only as Leclerc would say. How did that guy hit 4 sixes in a row? Stokes, I would have gone with Stokes in the last over. He's aggressive, he wants to win, and he's in your face. And the ball ended up in someone else's face 4 times. Amazing, James.
It was amazing. But I take my hat off to the West Indies. It was interesting listening to the Sammy afterwards, how he had to go at the cricket board and the way that they were treated and that. And you got to feel for those guys.
You've got to feel for them.
But at the end of the day, you know what they do? They have no plans. They go out and play cricket.
Yeah.
They don't have 50 people writing letters and notes, and you've got to know what this and that and the other is, and you've got to bowl this, bowl it from this. They put on that guy Bantry in the first over was just unbelievable.
Yeah, no, they're unorthodox, and they proved they're not a one-man side. Every one of them in the opening 6 can hit like hell.
And they won the women's and the under-19s.
They also had a go, it was Mark Nicholas.
Yeah.
For saying they had no brains. He said the West Indian team have got no brains.
Well, that's the end of Mark Nicholas.
No, he's a great person. He was entitled to his opinion, but he got it wrong.
He got it completely wrong.
Yeah.
So it was a great sporting weekend, great racing weekend. We're going to be watching all the action from Turf Team. Let's go and have a look at 3 to follow.
His dad, distorted humor, he's probably one of his best sons at stud.
I'll have another, wins the Derby. I'll have another in the Preakness. Lilacs and Lace, 48-1, upset.
He's just a big, strong, leggy horse.
Well, because it was April Fool's Day, we picked up nothing on Friday. We don't want to make fools of ourselves, so we went the day before, 31st of March. We got a Turfentine, a first race. Let's go and have a look at Paul Matchett's runner, Pistolera. Very good run from this one.
Yeah, James, it's for a debutant, it runs a very good race, and not stupid. Gets a good ride, gets pulled into, there you can see it in the white and brown, it looks like from here, going on the fence, probably 6th or so. It's white and blue, it might be. I can't quite pick it up.
But black colours with white cap. It's got the white cap and the red sleeves.
Right.
Paul Matchett's colours.
That's a Sherman Brown riding it. And the pace is on, and the pace falls away very quickly. Royal Regatta and August Duke. They're the front 2 making a good gallop. But the winner comes from off them as well for the humble hero, Joe Soma.
Well, the winner absolutely canters past them. It had 2 runs, and his last run was a very nice run behind quite a good field. So it ran on quite nicely around this bend. I thought it was an exceptional run from the winner. He quickens up well now from about 6th here. He just goes right through them. But Pistolero is starting to go on the inside. He's got a very funny tail action, this horse, hasn't he?
I noticed that from the jump, James. You can see it. It goes here to make a race for it. This is a debutant. It runs a very good race down the inside with Sherman. But the winner has got its number with experience and goes on by. But Pistolero won't be in the maidens too long for this debut, James.
Yeah, he's a Shawi. He's bred by the Alchemy, our friend Philip Kahan.
He can breed. He's a good breeder. He's a very good breeder.
Yeah. We'll see later on how many decent horses he can breed.
Yeah, he's bred a lot of top horses.
But we're going to go on from there, and we're going to go and look at Cape Town, Kenilworth it was, and Ridgemont own a lot of very classy fillies. This must be another one that they've added to their band. They buy big fillies, they buy fillies that they're going to be able to breed with, and this is a new approach filly, and we'll see another new approach later on, stepping out, winning a feature race. But let's have a look at Make It Rain at Kenilworth.
Yeah, this is an interesting selection because it wins the race, and that's how confident we are it's going to go on. You can see it in the white face and the white cap. Not a bad break. It's ushered into the race by Rolton Peters. And the pace.
I think this might have been his first winner down here. You know, he used to ride in Zimbabwe.
That's right,
Rolton
yeah.
Peters.
Well, we wish him all the best, you know.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the clearest of passes, which we will show you later, but the speed's on again. Second Nature showing good speed from Indigo, Storm, and Diva Fever. These three are showing good speed. And then another horse, just to mention, James, is the runner-up, the Irish horse, Emerald Gal, who runs a very good race.
Yes, that comes on the outside, and Hassan Adams' colours. It runs on really, really well. Craig Dupuy rides it. Brett Crawford trains this filly. She was unfancied, 25-1, and she's in behind the horse with the yellow cap now. And you'll see that she starts moving up here, and then she has to check very badly off the heels of the horse in front of her. Here she's starting to move into the race, and here he has to take a pull of her, and most horses, that would be them out of the race. She then puts them to bed.
Yeah, she lost her motion, and then here she comes. This is very impressive. And you see the runner-up run a very good race, grab second on the outside, but I think this horse who won is going all the way, James.
Yeah, she looks very, very good indeed. So we go from there, and we go and have a look at Scottsville on Sunday, and Mike de Kock steps out one in an open maiden plate, and there wasn't lack of support for this. This just needed a run under the belt.
Yeah, it's a Silvano, I believe, James, and it's a lovely horse, and this was its debut run. It paid a couple of pounds for it, and it's owned
was bred by our team, Maritz Fontaine and Volgerbosdrift. They bred it together, so yeah.
Yeah, and very nice horse. We'll get to see it in a moment. And it gets beaten by a horse that we'll talk about as well during the race. But here's Dofik, bear in mind a 2-year-old. And Buzieni's got the ride on a very well-bred horse and gets into the race. Everyone, for all intents and purposes, thought the danger would be alongside it. Arthur Marcus riding Amiga Onslaught for the Eustis. And they look to be the main two, but they get run out of it by a horse called Yellow Submarine, who's in red, behind the horse with red blinkers. And Fricky had said to me, if this horse settles, it'll run well, the Captain L.
Well, it certainly settled us way off them here.
Yes.
And Dafik's in front at this stage and going along quite nicely. Yellow Submarine at this stage, by all intents and purposes, got no chance in the race. Dafik's cantering, Yellow Submarine's under pressure. Amiga Onslaught, well, I don't know that he's too good. He's had a few chances and hasn't done anything. But Dafik looks like he's going to win here. It looks like absolutely no race. Yeah. Then Yellow Submarine switches out from behind the horse with the blinkers and puts him to bed in a matter of strides.
Yeah, Fricky got this 100% right. But Amiga Onslaught, Arthur's timed his run perfectly. Looks like Arthur could win it here going down on Amiga Onslaught. And this is a 2-year-old having its first run, stuck between horses. Gets quite a hard ride from our friend Muzi, but runs second on his debut, a 2-year-old.
Gets up to run second again. Going through the 100-meter marker, was going to run third. Amiga Onslaught had it beaten. And Yellow Submarine.
Once much further the stable set.
Yeah, I think that's quite a nice filly. Quite a nice horse, and is not a filly. Quite a nice horse, and certainly worth having a look at in future over the right type of trips. We're going to go and have a look at Blast from the Past. We've got the 1993 Schweppes Challenge. See if you can pick up the winner. One of the great horses ever to race in South Africa.
Soft Falling Rain, pulling clear. Soft Falling Rain won the SA Nursery by 3.
Racing in the 2,000 guineas. Gates fly and they're racing in the Godolphin Mile.
They're off and racing.
Weight didn't matter. Class tells. Soft Falling Rain, much too good. Soft Falling Rain, an impressive guineas winner. Soft Falling Rain is drawing clear.
He's made it 7 out of 7 by winning here today.
But it's Soft Falling Rain who is powering away. We'll see out the mile in style. A high-class performer wins the Nay of Joel Stakes.
Rami moving in, all set to go for the 400,000 Rand Sweps Challenge. 1,600 centre on their way to a good beginning. If anything, Rami lost about 2 lengths. The grey horse, I'm Taking It, in the early stages, being closely followed by your odds-on favourite Flaming Rock. On the far side of that, Circle the Sun, and with the red cap, Art of Eve is pretty handy as well. Secret Rights, no more than a length off them. Spanish Galliard relaxed 3 off them in the red silks with the blue sash. Rami's made up that ground quickly to raise 5 lengths off them. Tabaros in the red and grey second to last, and Entree at the back. With the red cap, Art of Eva's got away 1.5 lengths from Circle the Sun in the red silks. We go 3 lengths back to the pink cap and Unaware. On the inside of that, the grey horse, I'm Taking It. Racing short heads in the blue and white colours together as Flaming Rock the fence and Rami a short head on his outside. They 1.5 clear of Spanish Galliard in the red silks. On the inside of that, we've got Tabaros. Just in behind that, the outsider Entree. As they straighten up at Clearwood Park in the Schweppes Challenge, Art of Eve says, get me if you can. He skips clear by 3 lengths in the red cap. Then Circle the Sun with the red sleeves. The pink cap, Unaware, and Robbie Hill beginning to tighten up. There's Flaming Rock now, grabbing them with every stride. The blue and white silks with the white noseband. They've got to get to the outsider, Art of Eve with the red cap, clear by 2. But Flaming Rock now is running a cracker and grabbing him 220 out. Down right off Secret Rights and Dougie White with the red and blue colours, but Flaming Rock picks it up strongly in the Schweppes Challenge, and he's going to win this race 3 years in a row. Cornelius making no mistake. Flaming Rock cruises in by 2.5 lengths. Second place in Secret Rights, Art of Eve in the red cap, third, Tabaros in the red.
Colnesius, Flaming Rock, ended up winning in July as well. 2 Schweppes Challenges. He was a great horse. And
great horse. The horse who ran second was a good horse too, the Lunds horse. Yeah. And the third horse ended up being a very good stayer. Craig Benton had it, Art of V. Yeah, and they went to Pat Shaw, I think.
Yeah.
But the winner, very good horse, and won very cosily, I thought.
Absolutely. Blast from the past, Clearwood Racecourse in the old days. Let's go and have a look at our plum of the week.
$300 to go. Trapandi now starts to warm up. Beluga's in the green silks. Albert on the outside. Secret Warning's running on well to the inside. But Trapandi hit the front. $150 to go. Trapandi by 2 lengths, and he's getting stronger in the last room. Trapandi not for the catching. Stretches away by 3. Secret Warning second. Tinto flew for third, and Albert fourth.
Well, you could have got better than even money at any time, certainly 15 to 10, 16 to 10 about this. It had won its previous race in KwaZulu-Natal very cosily. It got 4 points penalty, which was nothing. This is a very nice horse. He absolutely put them to bed and made the penalty look like nothing. The handicappers have got a long way to catch up with this.
Yeah, I remember when it won last time, Dean had said there had lots of problems with this horse, top horse. Now, I never forgot that, so I especially watched him go down, and I thought he moved beautifully. And he doddled this. Yeah. He won by 4 3/4, I think.
Now, let's talk about this horse's name.
Yeah, one thing I do say, the Peters brothers, Craig and Sheldon, they go out and ask trainers how you pronounce horse's name. Many times they've come to me because they want to get it right for the commentaries. When I first saw this horse, I thought it was Tripandi, and then Sheldon seems to go towards Tripandi. You seem to have the info. Give us the insight.
This horse's name is Tripandi. Okay?
As in 3 words.
Yeah, Tripandi. Okay, and I'll tell you where it comes from. If you ever watch Married with Children, Al Bundy. Did you ever watch Al Bundy?
I watched him, yes.
Okay, Al Bundy gets a tip. Now, this was told to me by Jan Sotaro. It's very funny. He gave me the whole transcript. He gets given a tip for a horse called Mr. Footwear. Now, Al Bundy was a footwear salesman.
Correct.
Okay,
yes.
And so he's going to back this horse as 22 to 1. So he rings his mate Steve and he says, let's go to the track together and back this horse. Anyway, at 2 o'clock, the race is going to be run, and Al's sitting at home glum because Steve hasn't arrived. Okay, and Steve knocks on the door, walks in, and says to him, we should have gone to the track, but I was late, so I went to the track and had $100 on this horse that you told me. But it's got no chance. It's 22 to 1. They said it's got no chance. Anyway, you hear them. They listen to the commentary on the radio, and this horse is last. And Al Bundy first says to him, I want $25 of your bet, and he doesn't hear it, and the whole thing's a total mess. Anyway, the horse turns into the straight, okay, and starts moving up. And so Al Bundy turns to the commentator and says, "Trip and die, Mr. Footwear." Trip and die. Yes, trip and die, Mr. Footwear. Anyway, the horse ends up getting beaten. So Al says, "Phew, at last something went for me," but the objection hooter goes. So that gets it on the objection, and Steve doesn't give Al his money, pulls 25 from him, and as usual, Al Bundy gets nothing. But he says twice in the commentary, "Trip and die, Mr. Footwear," and I think
that's a very amazing story, very amusing. I mean, Trip and Die. So that's how it should be named. It should be called. I'm going to call it Trip and Die, and I know the Peters brothers will sort that out as well.
Okay, so that's just our funny for the week.
And her name, horse to follow, as well as a name to follow. Horse, Trip and Die. Okay, lovely.
Okay. Let's go and have a look at current affairs. We're going to have a race first. There'll be some race from probably Aqueduct, and we'll be back.
Yes. If you love soccer and you play the tote, you won't believe what Interbet has to offer you, or the excitement of tote betting on your computer or your cell phone. It's simple. Choose your teams and your bets, work out what your combinations will cost, see how big the pool is, and place your bets. You can even track your bet live as it happens and get updates on your progress. It's all the fun of the tote on your phone. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now at www.interbet.co.za and you could be a winner.
Right, the graduate of the week, unparalleled, won the Group 2 Colorado King Stakes. He's a bilateral out of Sublime Surge. He's a 150,000 Rand National Yearling Sales graduate. And you've got to congratulate the owners, the Gulland, Ferree, Vermatu, and Lawrence Verners. Johan Janssen van Vieren bought this horse, Bernard Faber rode it, and the Alchemy bred it, another good horse at the Alchemy
bred. Some good horses.
Yeah. So, you know, the National Yearling Sales round the corner, 26th, 27th, 28th of April at Gosforth Park, the Germiston Sales Arena. You want to be there to be able to buy this type of horse. He's a very nice horse, and thanks to Kevin for sending us that information. But we're going to move on and go and have a look at all the racing at Turfentine, and it looked like a wonderful day.
Fantastic
nice, everyone
day.
In white.
Fantastic day. They've really gone out of their way at Turfentine and Pumalela. I was very impressed. Good days racing, some wonderful horses raced, some champions came through and showed their mettle. So I was glued to the television set watching the racing.
Well, let's go and start with the first one. We're going to pick up race 2. Pretty Polly Stakes, grade 3. Sean Terry keeps on rolling.
The leader, Cloth of Cloud, the light blue sleeves and pink cap, and at their inside a Secret Vision. So two groups make their way to the 600. The first group is sharing the lead. It's Intriguing Lady, Arissa in the blue sleeves and the yellow cap, Schwanky and Fresh. The second round has got Cloth of Cloud now beginning to make a move. Secret Vision is over towards the inside. Cyber Magic and Santiburi, 400 meters left to go. Cloth of Cloud can't wait any longer. She's gone for home. Second place, Intriguing Lady. Then comes Cyber Magic. Secret Vision is next best, 200 meters out, and Cloth of Cloud ducks towards the inside. Intriguing Lady is staying right with her. Cyber Magic and Secret Vision are next. Cloth of Cloud is all out, but she's got a length to spare, and Cloth of Cloud now draws away. She finds a gear like a good horse. Intriguing Lady second, Cyber Magic third, and then came Secret Vision. Cloth of Cloud has finished the race, put the brakes on, ducked up.
Yeah, Cloth of Cloud. This is a very good filly. And James, did you see her antics as they crossed the line? She dug her toes in.
That was amazing camera work, I must say, from whoever did the camera work there to get it. It looked like he had the side on, and then suddenly he had the front on. She just decided to stop. She made a good puller pony.
She's worth a bit more.
I think we could talk to them.
She's worth more than a polo team. But James, she trotted back. She seemed to be fine. She was led in, and Sean Terry, well done to me, had 5 winners on the day again. But James, this is a very good horse, because when you saw Intriguing Lady and Arthur Marcus make a race of it with the blinkers on, you thought, whoa, this is going to be a close finish. But he shook her up, and she went away to win well.
Yeah, I think we're going to go on from there. We're going to go and have a look at the Man of War Sprint. It's a
just
grade
to mention,
3.
James, Highlands bred that. There was Highlands.
Oh, Highlands bred.
Highlands with Captain L. Yeah. Captain L. Highlands. You know, all the boxes being ticked there.
100%. Let's go and look at the Man of War Sprint, grade 3. And this is for the 3-year-olds. And this horse, I think he's ex-Dominic Zaki, this horse.
Yes.
He really won a good race. Let's go and have a look at him.
Back to Bull Valley along that one's inside, and at the rear of the field is Al Azraq moving into the final 600 meters. African Ruler now goes quickest, Isker alongside it, then comes Ronnie Rocket. Bull Valley 3 off the left is into the clear. Pure Blonde is looking for a bit of room. That's got 2 lengths to make up. Al Azraq is next, 400 meters left to go. African Ruler is in front. Bull Valley is very quick to put on pressure. Pure Blonde is towards the outside and under the stick. Then comes Isker, 200 meters left to go. It's Bull Valley the leader. Second place African Ruler. Pure Blonde needs to pull out a little bit more. Isker's staying on, but it's Bull Valley in front by a length and a half. Bull Valley is going all the way to give Tarry and Kamalo 3 out of 3. Second goes to African Ruler. Third, a 3-way photo. Magic, Isker and Pure.
Yeah, Bull Valley by another stallion who should be heralded more and more is Toreador. Toreador throws some really good horses. And James, this horse, first run for the stable and another winner for Terry in the day, but quickened up beautifully. James.
Beautifully. He's a really nice horse. He came with some reputation. He's only had 3 runs. Owned by the Blank Nestat team, all of those boys. Blank, Nikas, Sarkis, not Larry, he wasn't involved, but you know, he had Toreador.
His mates are involved, all his mates are involved. James, and bred by Ambion Stud, Marianne Thompson, very good breeder too. But nice keep an eye on this horse. I think Bull Valley can stretch out even a bit further. Toreador got beaten a short head in the Group 1 over 18.
Yeah, there's no doubt that this horse will get a bit further. I think the way he won, very impressive. We go to the Proteus Stakes. It's the 2-year-olds for the Colts, and not a big field, but a very impressive winner.
Mode as they went past the 800 meters board, and Seattle Singer finds herself in front and finds herself under the outside rail. He's a VAR is racing in second. Flying Myth is in third. Janubi, the white sleeves and the striped cap, is getting strubbed at. Then further back to Le Tigre, Approval Mode, and Onagi is at the rear. They have 400 meters left to go, and He's a VAR goes. It's a length and a half in front. He's taken over the lead from Seattle Singer. Flying Myth feels the stick. Janubi is running in snatches. Then comes Approval Mode. They get to the final 200 meters, and He's a VAR is still the leader, but now coming out to challenge is Flying Myth and Seattle Singer. Seattle Singer nearest us. Flying Myth. Janubi finishes hard. Janubi at the inside comes alive. Janubi will beat Seattle Singer. Then came Flying Myth, and fourth to Approval Mode.
Well, Janubi, another very good win for Michael de Kock and his major clients. And James, Silvano again.
Silvano, bred by Main Chance, and Sheikh Hamdan owns it, and a very, very nice horse, because he's not bred to be a sprinter, but he certainly won a good race. The second filly ran very well indeed, Seattle Singer. And
the third filly too is only having a second start flying with. I did speak to Arthur about this horse, and he said at one stage he was worried.
Well, he gave 5.5 kilos.
How many did he give, James?
5.5 kilos. 5.5 kilos to the second horse. So, you know, when 2-year-olds are giving that type of weight, it's going to make a difference. But very good win. And we think Janubi might be on his way somewhere else, because he looks really decent.
James, just before we show this race, the next one, the Harry Oppenheim Horse Chestnut Stakes, the Grade 1 race. When I was watching the race, obviously I thought Legal Eagle would be the horse to beat. But I want you to note the acceleration that comes from a New Predator when Gav Lorena, and I see him back in town, shoots it clear in the race. It's an amazing, and he must have gone too early, or the second horse was just loafing.
Well, I think that they were.
Stage.
I think Anton said in the post race that he didn't expect to be there, and he held him up. It was a very slow pace, and he said he let him go because he wanted his horse to run on at him, and that's exactly what happened. And this horse won extremely well.
Top horse.
Top horse, and so I think Turfendine is unbeaten, isn't he?
It could well be. Could well be.
So let's go and have a look at that horse chestnut from the start.
The lineup for the HF Oppenheimer Horse Chestnut Stakes. 1,600 metres ahead of them. Gates crash open and they're racing. An Ice Machine has lost 4 lengths. Legal Eagle and Diesel Jet both landed running. Up there too is Africa Burn. He's committing from a deep draw to race in the firing line. New Predator is 4th early on. Captain American is locked in a good position against the rail. The blue body and pink cap with Light the Way for company. A further length back to halve the deficit. Bezanova, they travel together. Then comes Captain Aldo, and a slow pace has allowed Ice Machine to catch up. There's 10 lengths in it as they head towards the final 1,000 metres, and Legal Eagle is setting his own pace. He's a length in front of Africa Burn. Diesel Jet races at the rail in 3rd with New Predator at his outside. A further length back to Captain America. Then came Light the Way. Bezanova's 3/4 of the way back. Then comes halve the deficit. 1 from last, Ice Machine. And finally Captain Aldo. At the top of the straight in the HF Oppenheimer Horse Chestnut Stakes, and Legal Eagle has guarded them for home. He's a length and a half in front. New Predator very quick to get a move on, and New Predator has taken over the lead, and he's gone very early in doing so. 2nd place now Legal Eagle. Then comes Captain America. He's tried to set sail for this leader. Further back then to Africa Burn, Light the Way and Diesel Jet, but New Predator getting into the final 250 metres has a 2-length advantage. Legal Eagle is still right there. He's lurking around and he's got dead aim. Legal Eagle gets his prey, and he's going on to win this to prove that Turfendine is his home. Legal Eagle far too good. What a win. Captain America's 2nd. New Predator did everything he could. He's run 3rd, and half the deficit was 4th.
This is a very good racehorse, James, and he just keeps getting better, and he's going to be for everything coming up this year. They're going to be just about at his mercy.
Well, Sean seems to have a stranglehold. There's a lot of horses that he's got that French Navy. They got beaten the other day. I think that he'll still come right. He looks like he needed his 2 runs. This horse has been beaten at Turfendine in his first start over 1,200 metres. He got beaten.
Who beat him?
I'll tell you who beat him. Mukamakin.
Oh yes, Mutamakin, Michael de Cox. Australian horse beat it. Yeah, I remember
it. He's certainly shown that he is a really, really good racehorse. This horse, he's by Gray's Inn. He's bred by Aventure. It was a 425,000 rand yearling at the national.
Another very good breeders, James.
Yeah,
Aventure, very good breeders. She does a great job.
She knows what's going on.
So, very good. Captain America got 200 grand for pitching up.
Yeah,
well done.
He came to defend his title. They went up there and he had a warm up, and he just was beaten by a better horse on the day.
I agree.
Maybe a little bit of a flat run, second run, but he'll improve. Let's go and have a look at Jacaranda handicap from the 600, and this is for the fillies and mares.
Brings up the rear as they turn into the home straight with a little less than 800 metres to go. Peggy J's tackled by Dream Galaxy. These are the 2 in front. They 2 lengths clear of Mamacita. Alarm is just in behind those. Zrinski's on the far left. Further back to Patch It Up Baby, Enchanted Silk, and behind that comes Pennington Sands with Ava Tubbs. 350 metres to go. Peggy J fending off the challengers. Here's a length and a half clear. From in second, Alarm. Zrinski, Patch It Up Baby down the inside, then Pennington Sands, Enchanted Silk. Peggy J clinging on to the narrow advantage here. Patch It Up Baby. Further back to Pennington Sands. Peggy J from down the inside. Patch It Up Baby. Peggy J continuing to roll in the Jacaranda. Peggy J, good ride. Wins it from Patch It Up Baby. Pennington Sands, then came Zrinski. Further back, Enchanted.
Well, Peggy J, the JPEG, fantastic win, James. And as you were saying, only 3.
Only 3 should be a problem. She's lined up for the Oaks. Lucky Hoodlarkus keeps stepping them out.
He's very good.
This is out of Gary Player's Gold Cup winner, Colonial Girl,
That's
by
right.
JPEG. Bred by David Southey, funnily enough, and Gary Player obviously bought it from David Southey. And he's got a share in it, Gary, with the See You Next Tuesday team.
Yeah. Gee, that's a hell of a nice name.
Yeah.
I know exactly what
I don't know how
means.
the hell they got that
I don't
name
know, got
the
it
Jockey
through,
Club, but anyway,
well done.
they did.
And
they certainly not see you next
on
Tuesday.
Day.
Yeah, the way they won this.
Yeah, see you on Oaks Day. But the Greek hang glider is doing well?
Yeah, very, very well indeed. And a good ride from Marco van Rensburg. He committed early and certainly won a decent race. But let's move on and have a look at the SA Fillies Classic. Negramaro, rumoured unbeatable. Oh, she's now fluffed her lines a couple of times, but let's go and have a look at the race.
Volkerbossdrift, SA Fillies Classic, 1,800 metres and dispatched for R1 million over here, and Princess Verunia got away well. Persian Rug and Witchcraft were quickly away. Nurse up on the far side. Heaps of Fun is racing no more than 3 lengths off the leader. She's a Dragon. Polyphonic is wider out the black cap. Negro Amaro is racing about 6 lengths off the leader. Then Juxtapose and Christmas Carol racing behind them, and Melliflora is racing at the back with Alexa. Those are the 2 back markers, but only 9 lengths cover the field now as they run towards the 1,200 metre marker. And it's Polyphonic that picks up the advantage. It's 1.5 lengths clear. Heaps of Fun has gone up to run into second. Princess Verunia is back on the fence in third, and Nur is close up in 4th position. Then comes Witchcraft racing together with Persian Rug. Negro Amaro is 5 lengths off the leader, followed further back by She's a Dragon. Then comes Christmas Carol. Racing behind that towards the rear end of the field is Alexa. Just in behind that, Melliflora. And towards the back end of the field is Juxtapose. Homeward bound, racing towards the 600 metre marker in the Fillies Classic here. Polyphonic, Princess Verunia. Nose in behind them. Heaps of Funds down the centre. Further back to Polyphonic, and down the inside is Alexa. Persian Rug. Negro Amaro is coming forward stoutly on the outside. 400 metres left to go. Negro Amaro, Princess Verunia on the stand side. She's a Dragon. Also Juxtapose and Alexa down the inside. It's Negro Amaro in front from Princess Verunia on the stand side. Juxtapose and She's a Dragon. Negro Amaro, Juxtapose on the stand side. She's a Dragon. It's Juxtapose and Negro Amaro. Negro Amaro from Juxtapose, and here they come, and it's very close, but I give it to Juxtapose ahead of Negro Amaro. Third place, She's a Dragon, and then came Princess Verunia.
Well, there we are. Judpot's always been known to throw big horses, and Judpot's another Group 1 winner. Well done. Juxtapose, the quiet man of racing, Stan Ferreira. And wonderful to see Roland Bauer. Now, Roland Bauer is a great guy. I've known him for a long time. And when you get a man who put a lot of money into the game like Roland Bauer, so passionate, unable to speak after a race because of the emotion, it's wonderful.
Well, it just shows you there are these guys that put a hell of a lot of money in and support little trainers. You know, yes. Stanley, he's been with Stanley when Stanley was training in Newmarket, and then Stanley gave up training. He's always been there for Stanley. He's stuck with him. And Stanley Ferreira is a damn good trainer.
Damn good trainer.
He doesn't speak anymore. Stanley used to be a big beck. You know, when he was
was he the Bull Street?
He was a big beck by Stanley. He doesn't speak now. He said run out of words.
Run out of words. He's used
Chase Moujon, first Group 1 winner for him.
Fantastic.
First Group 1 winner for
Roland Bauer.
Yeah.
It's wonderful for all the connections here. And Fastfontein, well done at Fastfontein. They bred another very good horse here. But Chase Moujon rode, I think, a treble for Jeff Woodruff the other day. He's really doing well.
I'm so pleased for him. You know, he's a guy that always arrived at work, always was prepared to help. He rode in Natal, never got a chance, really battled along.
The hang glider put him on the map, I think.
I think the hang glider had a lot to do with it, yeah.
She will. Just touching on the race again, a very good run by Negro. Negro
Amaro, yeah.
Negro Amaro.
She's a very good filly.
Just beaten, ran a very good race again. And what was interesting, I'm going to touch on the fourth horse before I come back to the third horse, James. Princess Verunia. This is more her form. You know? Her first run up there wasn't there. She ran a very good race, wasn't beaten fast. She's a very good daughter of High Chaparral. But let's talk about She's a Dragon.
Yeah, she had the worst run in the race. She got beaten half a length. Never looked like she was properly balanced down the straight. She just looked like
ran in, ran out.
Yeah, and she's obviously very, very good. But she's got a very funny action with
incredible action with her legs. If you get to watch the replay of this, have a look at the action of She's a Dragon. Now, it's named after one of your mother-in-laws, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
All of them.
All of them. All of them. And another JPEG. So well done to all of them, and especially to Roland Bauer, and of course Chase Moujon and Stan Ferreira. Wonderful juxtapose the Judpot, bringing home a Grade 1 race. Let's move on to
the Classic.
The Classic.
Yeah. And this is obviously a triumph for Michael Azzi and a triumph for his patrons, the Fanfurans, who've been very patient to get their Group 1. But at last
they're wonderful when people spend money and they get it. And the Fanfurans have spent money all over the place. So this horse could take them all over the world. It's a very good horse.
Yeah, very, very nice horse indeed. And let's go and pick it up at the start. Carl Zechner got the break that he deserved. Michael Azzi always said he'd give him a break. He gave him a break and he produced the goods.
1,800 metres and they're racing in the SA Classic, got them away to a good start. Leclerc was quickly away, so too Champagne Hayes. Romany Prince is racing outside of them, so too is Malakiel Maluk on the far side. Samurai Blade and Rocket Ball showing good early pace. They followed further back by Lunar Approach, and then comes Abba Sherry, who's racing about 7 lengths off the leader. Mawari's on that one's outside. Brazuca racing further back with Valitel. Then comes Liege, followed by Suyuf racing second to last, and Trading Profit is the back marker, and there's 15 lengths, 16 lengths covering them first to last. And it's the stable companion to the favourite Leclerc, setting a very quick gallop up front's gone clear. Leclerc by 5 lengths. Rocket Ball racing second at the 1,000, then Lunar Approach in third. Mawari's back in fourth, back along the inside Malakiel Maluk, then Romany Prince, further back to Abba Sherry's got 8 or 9 to make up. Brazuca's directly behind it, Champagne A, Samurai Blade, Valitel, then comes Liege, Trading Profit and Suyuf as they homeward bound now. Come down to the 600 in the SA Classic, Leclerc by 2 or 3. Lunar Approach on the stand side is Abba Sherry. Champagne A's Rocket Ball. Then comes Brazuca's got 2 to find, and further back Mawari. Here comes Abba Sherry with 300 to go, struck the front. Champagne A's Brazuca. Romany Prince, Samurai Blade further back, but it's Abba Sherry with 200 to go. Is clear here. Brazuca back in second, then Samurai Blade. But ladies and gentlemen, it's all Abba Sherry. And bring on the derby. He's won the second leg over Sherry by 3. Brazuca, Samurai Blade. Then came Suyuf further back, Champagne Hayes.
Yeah, well done to Adrian and Rico van Vuren. As we said earlier, they put their money and they bought horses, but they bought a superstar here. Well done to Mike Azzi and his team. This is just fantastic. And as you say, you could throw in Carl Zechner, the right bone here. It's now going for the Triple Crown. Very good horse, James.
Nothing will beat it in the Triple Crown on what we've seen. You don't want to speak before the events, and Michael is a bit, really
hard to live with. I think that's what he's
hard to live with.
I've become hard to live with.
He's got the most long-suffering, beautiful wife
Sharon,
in the world, Sharon.
Isn't Sharon a superstar? She's a superstar.
Produced, I think, 5 kids for
five wonderful kids,
wonderful
and then
children.
He's still moaning on TV,
and he's still carrying on. Carrying on. Okay, but
bred by Lammerskroll.
Lammerskroll.
Brazuca, third Group 1 runner-up.
400 grand yearling from the National Yearling Sales, another National Yearling Sales horse. Brazuca, Samurai Blade, Suyuf. The Australians got well and truly beaten.
Second,
we gave
third,
them
and fourth.
a proper hiding. Okay, let's go and look at the Caradoc Gold Cup, Group 3, the last couple hundred meters.
Further back to Save the Last Dance, and then Storm Warning and Rocky Stallone homeward bound with 600 meters to go. Fortune Fella from Cool Chardonnay. Mama Lady stakes her claim along the inside and comes home smartly. Further back to Storm Warning, who's progressing from the back end with arch rival Super Tube Elusive Flyer. Heading down with 300 to go. Mama Lady, Fortune Fella trying to come back for more. On the stand side, arch rival Cool Chardonnay. Still in the hunt too. Mama Lady and Fortune Fella by 2 lengths here. From Cool Chardonnay, then Storm Warning and arch rival. Fortune Fella and Mama Lady. Fortune Fella's come right back at Mama Lady, and Fortune Fella's won it. From Mama Lady, close for third, arch rival of Cool Chardonnay.
Right, James, our friends Mouton's Hook, Brenda's Fortune Fella, and well done to young Donovan Little and Muzi across
Donovan, Devon Little.
Devon, so I've seen Donovan in the studio, has caught me out.
Muzi Yeni?
Yeah.
Very nice for Devon Little. He's starting to make a name for himself. He's tried very hard, battled along with some bad horses, wins the Caradoc Gold Cup. Fantastic.
With Mambo in Seattle.
With the Mambo in Seattle. Yeah, well done. We're going to be wrapping because we're out of time for that segment. You're going to be watching a race here, and we'll be back with Donovan Habib. Right, well, we've got a couple of bits of news that we're going to bring you. And the first was the Florida Derby was run. Nyquist, the Uncle Mo, remains unbeaten. And
what a racehorse.
Yeah.
James, just while we touch on Uncle Mo, set an American record first season stallion, over $3 million in stakes his progeny won, and this obviously is the
well,
flagship.
this is the big horse, and he's remained unbeaten, but he beat another unbeaten horse by Tappet. And Doug O'Neill trains Nyquist, Kieran McLaughlin trains a Tappet for the Shakes, and that ran a poor fourth, got beat 8.5 lengths. But that's the news from there. Ertijol going to Singapore for the
Going to Hong Kong.
Hong Kong at least, for the QE2.
Yeah, good horse doing
got
well
invited.
Yeah, that's right, the hard spun Ertijol. James, over in Australia, Winx goes about it again. Winx won again. Incredible. I think nine groups in a row she's won, and she might run again next Saturday.
Yeah, they're talking about running her again next Saturday in the $4 million $4 million race. Talking about good horses, US Army Ranger had his first start in Ireland.
Ireland, yeah.
Yeah, getting ready for the English Derby. He's now favourite. There's been a big move on him all the way along before he was even raced for the English Derby. He's by Galileo out of Moonstone, Moonstone won the Irish Oaks, and he's been backed to favourite
for the Derby. What's
his
name again?
His name's US Army Ranger.
US Army Ranger, remember that?
And he wasn't even favourite for this race, funnily enough. They backed a horse of Dermot Wells to favourite. So the two powerful stables obviously having a go at each other, but he won a good race. He ended up beating Dermot Wells' horse. The bad news as far as the jockey front was concerned was Barry Geraghty got 30 days suspension. 30 days. You know what that is, because they ride every single day of the week. Yeah, but it's every day of the week they ride, so it's worth a fortune to him. One of the top riders for running second in a hurdle race at Limerick, okay? He got beaten 11 lengths for running second.
Did a good job.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, the winner was 30 lengths in front of them turning for home, and it got away from them. It went clear of the field. All the jockeys were interviewed, and Geraghty was given 30 days. He rode the favourite.
That's strict, eh?
Yeah, very, very strict indeed. And they are very tight on riding the horse to the best of its possible ability. He says he's going to appeal. Obviously, he was so furious he never said he wouldn't speak to the press. And it does look very harsh. When I looked at the race, I watched the race, and that he was told to cover the horse up, which he did. The trainer told him to cover the horse up. The trainer got fined £3,000, and Geraghty got 30 days. So that's bad news. But we're going to move on. Is that all we got?
That's all we got, James.
Right. Well, we're going to come back to you with Donovan Habib. Well, it's our pleasure to welcome Donovan Habib into the studio. And Donovan, for those of you who don't know, was a jockey himself and is the father of the young sensation Kelvin Habib. So Kelvin's now starting to set the racetracks alight. But Donovan, nice to have you in the studio.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You come down here to see Calvin when you got a break and just help him along in the academy, because he only started when, this year?
This will be his second year now in the apprenticeship.
Yeah.
He started last year, and he started race riding about 3 months when he was in the academy. So he's done quite nice for himself.
He's done very well for himself. But you've been through the academy system. You started as an apprentice jockey in the academy. Was it at Summerfeld then?
That's correct as well. We went in as 38 apprentices.
38 apprentices.
38 to start.
And who was the notables that ended up in your intake?
We ended up with 9 left.
Yeah.
MJ Odendaal, Gunther Bruggeman. I think Gunther is actually the only one still race riding out of all 9.
Who else was there?
It was late Warren Bailey and Simon Roili.
Yeah.
They were both in that aeroplane accident.
Yeah.
And then Conrad Wilkinson, Ricky Kleinsmith, you know.
And
it was Nina Messina, no, Sigrene.
Yeah.
Sigrene,
yeah. How did you miss the plane accident?
Actual fact, Mr. Goodman, that day I was in Joburg.
Yeah.
I never had any rides in Bloemfontein, battling to get rides in Bloemfontein. And a couple of jockeys got off. I was at scratch-ins, phoned the trainer. Paul Whitmore was going down for the trainer. So he's still sitting next to me in scratch-ins and said to me, no, the bad rides, 2 bad rides, don't even go.
Oh.
And I still said, no, I'm going, because it can open up any doors.
Yeah.
And it was the first time they ever left from Jan Smuts Airport.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have made it in time. I would have missed the flight. So I ended up, I wasn't supposed to go.
Yeah.
And both those of Paul Whitmore's came in one.
Did they?
They both won.
It's amazing, because I had runners there that day, and I was meant to go, and I missed the flight because of the national yearling sales. I decided to rather stay at the yearling sales. So, you know, fate smiles in amazing ways on some of us, and that's how we would have both, you know, ended up not surviving that little accident, unfortunately.
It's very sad for racing.
As a jockey, you were one of the very few people, and I know because I've been involved with you for many, many years, who really wanted to ride a racehorse. You loved riding racehorses, didn't you?
I still do. I wish I could still be back on horse. But, you know, God's got a thing for everybody, and I actually was boarded at the age of 28. I had a hip replacement, which was a miracle to come back again. And he gave me another 10 years of race riding, so I'm appreciative of that. And then I damaged my knee very badly at the Val.
Yeah.
I've had 8 operations. It's not a success, and have to have stopped, force stopped.
But what I remember about you, you never missed riding work. You loved riding horses, and you still love horses.
I still love it. Today, if I had any chance, I'd still be back on their backs. Actually, when I was a couple of months back, my physio and the doctor came to agreement that trotting will do very good for my leg. And I went to Paul Peters. He put me on a couple of nice horses, trotting them, and then I got so excited I started to actually canter them, which I wasn't supposed to do. And eventually my knee started giving me more problems, and was told to stop.
All right, let's go back to the beginning now. You were very lucky to marry Amanda, okay? How did that come about?
Just as you say, Faith. I saw her once, and in a club, and I said to Marcus Bachman, who were friends, we were going out that night, I said, there goes my wife. And he says to me, you joking, you don't even know her. I said, so? And about that same night I asked her out, and she said, no, she can never go out with me, it's impossible. She knew my whole family, I didn't know her.
Yeah.
And
how did she know your family?
Through her brother's married to one of my sisters. Or
is that Evelyn,
like
the Davids?
No, it's going Clive and Arlene, and anyhow it goes back that way. I went to Mauritius, rode there, got back the same night. They said they're having a party. She was invited to the party, and from there we stayed together. We've been now going for 22 years together.
And you produced two children?
Yeah, Devon and
2
Calvin.
sons. Yeah.
Devon's doing well for himself.
He's Devon Habib, but there's another Devon Habib who's a rider. He's not the rider.
No, definitely. No, he's way too big.
He's big, yeah.
Yeah. Devon Habib that's riding. Shame he had a car accident, and you know, it's taken him 6 years to come back.
Yeah.
But he'll get back there. I know he was a good rider before he fell. I thought he was going to the tops.
And he always wanted to ride as well. He's been mad about riding.
Yeah, look, the doctors forced this issue with he had a bit of injury, and they said to him he has to be off all certain tablets, that he doesn't have any panic attacks or fits, which is fair on all other jockeys in the racing. And it was 5 years that he had to be off all medication. And he's come back now, and I think he's had a winner already on Kalua Castle.
Yeah.
In a couple of places.
So he's back in the saddle. Okay, let's go back to your riding career. You rode a couple of good horses, but the horse that obviously sticks out is Goldmark.
Look, Mr. Goodman, I've never felt another horse like that in my life. He never touched the floor. It felt like you were floating in air. I went to the start in the nursery, and I actually thought, wow, I'm going too fast down. I was just passing the horses. Meantime, he was doing just a nice canter, enjoying himself. He stood in the pens, put his head against the front gate, fell asleep. Horse flipped next to me, never moved. I thought I'm going to get left. Pens open, I was 2 lengths clear, and I ended up winning by about 4.
He was trained by the Brits. How did you end up getting to ride him? It was quite an interesting story. This.
Yeah, I had no rides on the day, and late buddy Nasser said to me, come to races. Doesn't think Reese is going to ride. You can pick his horse up in the first. It doesn't have much of a chance, but it will be a future ride. Got to races. First person I walked into is Reese. I asked Reese, you riding? He says, of course I'm riding. So I didn't want to just back up and just go. I said, I'll watch 1 or 2 races, then I'll go. And Mr. Yander Brain came up to me and he said to me, would you like to ride my horse in the second race? So I said, oh, yes. I never turned down a ride.
Yeah.
Didn't know the horse, didn't know its form. It ran second, first time out, got left like 7 or 8 lengths.
Who was that? That was Goldmark.
Goldmark.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that it was actually a hot
Who was going to
favourite.
ride it?
Lucky Udalakis. From the airport to the races, his appendix burst. So he was rushed to hospital.
His appendix burst, so you ended up getting asked to ride this horse. You had no rides.
Picked up the ride.
And you were a battler at that stage. You were really battling to get rides and get things going.
Used to try everything, and as you say, so good horses come to you. You don't find good horses.
No.
And that horse found me.
So he ran second. Now what happens? Because they trained on the farm, you know, and I remember that Jan used to tell me that they had raced it with the bucky.
The first thing he said to me in the parading, this horse goes 60 kilometers with my red bucky. I said, all right, you know, I don't know where you're coming from, but it's fine. And I came back, I said, you sure it doesn't do 70? No, he can run. He won his maiden well with me by 6, and I won the nursery by 4. And I still, if you listen to Pierre, he rates that and JJ, the 2 best horses he's ever sat on, and he's back.
Yeah.
So it must be a exciting
that all changed your life around, because then suddenly you started getting some recognition, didn't you?
I think always a group race helps you as a jockey. And a lot of help honestly came from you. When I became a stable jockey to you, you kept me going, you kept my career going. And then I must also thank Cliffy Miller. Me and him, we won this Kimberley title 7 times, so we done really well there. And Dominic Zaki, for the last 10 years of my career, I was with him.
Yeah.
And we done well. I mean, okay, Pierre Straden was first choice jockey, and I used to ride all the babies first time out. And Dominic had a lot of success with the babies. So
Dominic was a very good trainer.
Very. To
and
me,
a nice
he's
guy.
top class. So we got along. We raced. Never gave me instructions. You know, we knew each other, and we done well. And I used to go work on the farm. A lot of people wouldn't work on his farm.
Yeah.
They were too scared to work on his farm. His bends were so sharp.
He had tight little track, didn't he?
Very tight. But I got used to it, and I got to know the horses perfectly, and we done well together. I actually rode more winners than Pierre, because Pierre wasn't riding them in work.
Yeah.
And I was finding them in work, and he could pick his rides. So I never used to tell Pierre that they were working well.
So Pierre was picking them on their form, and you knew their form before they even started.
That's correct.
Your friends in the racing business?
Yes, look, I've got Derek David, he's my nephew.
Yeah. Eblim's son.
Eblim, and my sister Elaine.
Yeah.
He's flying the flag very well in Mauritius.
He's a very good rider, Derek.
He is, and he'd got a good, he had a little stint now in Singapore.
Yeah.
He was actually offered the Singapore contract for 6 weeks, but the visa took so long to come through. So he ended up only riding for 1 week, and he ended up having 2 feature race winners in that week.
Yeah.
and 2 or 3 places out of his 6-7 rides. And now he's back in Mauritius, and the season starts. He's already signed the contract with Mr. Rousset for 1 more season, and then I think he's going to go back to Singapore.
Yeah, well, the way to go is overseas, isn't it? For a young jockey, that's what you want to do if you can get a break.
If you can get the chances to get in overseas, I would advise any young jockey to do it. The experience, you can't buy it.
Getting back to Amanda, because I know that when you gave up riding, you had a garden service and you had all types of things going on. You're a proper operator, you know. All those things now on the sideline, and you make the food for the jockeys in the jockey room.
Yeah, well, Amanda's got a nice job at the jockey room. She's caters 2 times a week, and that's her job. It's morning, but it's a lot of cooking and a lot of work for her. But she enjoys it, she loves it.
And how is it working with the jockeys in the jockey room? You know them all because you've grown up with most of them.
I don't think they can do without Amanda at the moment. They fight when I come into the jockey room, when I give her a break. They tell me I must go home and send my wife back. She does everything for them. She puts them on a platter.
And you obviously don't do that.
No, I was a jockey. I knew you were supposed to do that.
What do they get in the jockey room? What do they eat?
Amanda cooks 48 different dishes.
48 different dishes?
They never eat the same dish within a month and a half. They won't have the same dish.
So on a normal day, what would you have for them?
She has to have 2 hot dishes.
Yeah.
And
so that would be like a curry and a stew or something.
Yeah, maybe a
chicken a la king,
stir fry, or definitely 2 hot foods, and then there's got to be sandwiches, and there's toasted sandwiches, and she serves them the cold drinks as well. And she makes all different, you know, they say jockeys don't eat, but trust me, they eat.
Yeah.
They finish those pots badly.
We know there's nothing left after a day at the races. And that's turpentine now, that's basically it.
But we get Val as well.
Val as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And turpentine, and it's every 2 or 3 times a week.
So now you must have obviously set up you can't cook at the racecourse, you must cook it before. You must have set up a bucky or something that you've got to drive the food there.
Look, Amanda's got a whole set up very well. She puts it in these like catering boxes.
Yeah.
They're all in catering tins.
Yeah.
And at the racecourse there's already that hot water trays. Yeah. But as she gets there, it stays hot, she puts them in the trays and it goes through the day. But I've set up a little kitchen at home, and that's her part where she cooks.
Yeah.
She's got the gas stove, and you won't believe it, in 2 hours she's done 4 dishes finished, packed, ready to go.
And so now what do you do with yourself nowadays? Because you know the gardening service was quite a good business at one stage.
It was, but Mr. Goodwin, it was very difficult for me with my legs.
Oh.
The more I work, the worse it gets. I'll get in sore, and I'll come home with backache and pains, and and I wasn't making a lot of money off it. I was doing it more for passion.
Yeah.
Just for the interest of doing something in life. I'd still like to be doing something with horses again. That would be my biggest dream. And I was with Paul for about nearly 6 months. Such a gentleman. He ended up giving me 4 or 5 horses shares in them. Small shares, but they've done well. I've had 9 winners out of those little horses.
You had some fun with them. Miracle Rising, what was it?
Miracle Rising, Boy.
Yeah.
Northern Rising. There's one more, Kirsten's Pride, very nice horse.
Yeah. Okay, now let's go to talk about Calvin, because Calvin always wanted to be a rider too. But
from the age of 5, 6, he had his stick whip on the couch, slapping the couch. He was a small boy.
Yeah.
He was tiny, I also said, you can see when they're ready to be a jockey and they want to be a jockey. And at the age of 12, he had his appendix taken out, and Mr. Goodman, he just grew,
Yeah.
He shot up. He went past me, and I was like, boy, sorry.
He's very tall.
Yeah, I said to him, sorry, you're not going to make it as a jockey, really. Forget about it. He didn't want to know no stories. He said, Dad, can I be a work rider? I said, you can be a work rider, but you still got to do your schooling. And then if things fall in place, we'll see how it goes from there. I try to push him away as hard as possible because of his height.
Yeah.
But he's light-boned, I think, and I used to walk around 48.
Yeah.
So he's only a head taller than me, and if he has the body structure I have, he's not going to be that heavy.
But then came to, now you've got to get him to the academy. They looked at him, they said, he's too big.
Definitely. We took him at the age of 15. They laughed at me. They turned him down. He used to weigh 50 kilos then. So I said, okay. Then he said to me, Mr. Marie, I would like to thank him a lot.
Yeah.
Said to me, bring him to the work riders course and I'll see what I can do for you there. And he started riding work riders. Mr. Azzy gave him a job as a work rider. Used to get salary from Mr. Azzy and ride in races for him. And then Paul Peters took him on as a work rider. And he ended up riding 11 winners as a work rider.
Yeah.
And I took him back to the academy now recently when he turned 17, going on to 18. And they said to me, let's give him a chance. If he lasts for 2-3 years, is what the boy wants in his life, let his dream come true. And I appreciate the academy for allowing him to come there. And I can see he's enjoying his life.
Yeah, I think Graham Hawkins was quite instrumental in getting him through there, which is great.
Yes,
you want people who want to ride racehorses, and you can see it in the way he conducts himself. In the mornings at work, he works harder than anyone, and it's starting to pay dividends. You must be very proud of him.
I am proud, and I, as you say, Mr. Hawkins, I've got to thank. He set up a meeting with Mr. Bailey, and he said to us, come see him and let's see what we can do from there. And since then he's taken off. He had to go back to school.
Yeah.
So that's, but it's good for them. They must pass, get his matric, and this is his last year. If he passes now, he gets his matric, and then from there he can travel and do what he really wants.
Yeah. Well, Donovan, I must say it's been very interesting chatting to you, and fascinating having you back in the studio. And now you've got a new interest in life. You've got your one son's going to be an architect, Devon, is he?
Yes,
No?
I hope so. Yeah. He's doing very well at school.
Well,
he's always had a brain on him.
Yeah.
He's using it now.
Good.
And he's just finished his 8 months course, and now if he gets past that, then he works for a company, and he carries on doing the schooling for another 5 years with him.
It's fantastic having you in the studio, and all the best with Calvin and his career. Amanda, keep making good food for the jockeys. They're going to ask for the weights to be put up. That will be the next thing, because they say that they can't carry on at these weights because they eat so well. And you, I hope you find yourself somewhere to really enjoy the latter years in your life. But it's been a pleasure working with you all these years that I've known you, and it's fantastic to be able to get you in the studio. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, Ms. Goodman.
Well, there we go. Donovan Habib, one of the great guys in racing, and really a pleasure to get him here. I know that he wasn't a keen starter, dragged him in here kicking and screaming, but I thought it would be an interesting interview, which I think it's turned out to be. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Let's see what we've got from Magic Millions. Dance City Queen and Street Flyer, those are the two Magic Millions winners over the past week, and certainly getting ready for the June sale, Magic Millions. That's going to be a fun one. Don't want to miss that. From me, James Goodman, the whole Winning Ways crew, hope you have a great week's racing, and thanks to Raymond and the team.